What is up, everybody? Good morning and welcome back to the channel. Today I thought we would do yet another spectating video. This time we're going to be spectating Karova again, but unlike last time where we are spectating his Adam Warlock, because as we all know he's a very good Adam Warlock, we are going to be spectating him play Cloak and Dagger. And I did find this replay in a sea of Invisible Woman replays, but I think more than anything too, we're going to see some good Cloak and Dagger gameplay, but his team also plays very well. They play very kind of aware. You'll kind of see what I mean as we get into the replay, so let's just get into it and see what happens. You can also see that this is a very high ranked lobby, tons of very good players in here. So it's not going to be an easy match to win necessarily, but they all play really well, and it's going to be a little bit shorter than the normal replay, but we will see what happens. So getting right into it, they are on defense here. And actually, his Groot sets up walls on the sides of the hallway here. So a lot of Groots use them to kind of block initial damage, those 250 health walls. But I think it's cool that he uses them on these sides, just so that if someone presses up, goes past that corner, he can do damage to them, and the wall will lash out and do a little bit more. Standing in the back here, just using Cloak and Dagger auto attacks to top off his team, and his Groot is playing this corner very well, stepping out, doing some damage, walling off the side to keep their flanks safe, and their Doctor Strange backs up behind the enemy Groot wall, actually, waiting to get topped off before they get back on the point. So they see the payload getting a little bit too far though and have to step up. He uses his right click to top off this Groot so that he can step up and play on top of this point, uses Cloak and Dagger ult to get a little bit more pressure there. And the enemy Cloak and Dagger ult also ults, so they just kind of cancel out the smoke. Get a pick on the Groot, get a pick on the Mantis, and they should win this fight pretty easily. So the smoke fades, and everyone else follows suit. Going into his shadow form there to get a little bit of extra damage because he knows that his ult will keep him alive through that whole process. Is also able to build 30% ult charge during his ult, basically. So that is also a very good thing to do. You can see the Doctor Strange and the Groot here playing the corner. They're not just standing out in the middle of nowhere taking damage for no reason. They're taking a little bit of damage to build heal or ult charge, but they are, for the most part, playing this left side corner. His Moon Knight ults, his Groot ults, they're not able to get a whole lot off of it, not even able to take out the enemy Groot, but he sees the Black Widow in this side room over here, gets a damage amp on her, and just runs her down. So that's a little bit awkward for everybody, and they're able to clean up another two people in the main drag over here. Walls the Groot off with the help of that bigger wall and the smaller wall, able to cut him off from his team and stagger him a little bit more. As you can see, they push up, but now they're hugging the left hand side of this hallway, go around the corner to line of sight. They know that they are being taken pretty low, so again playing this second corner as it curves again, and backing up a little bit more to where they were playing before, where they have access to this right hand corner over here and the left hand where he is currently playing. His Doctor Strange drops a little bit low and drops back, but Cloak and Dagger ults both come in. They're traded. He just tries to smoke over the top of his smoke. Unfortunately, he is taken out by the Black Widow, and his team is pushed back a little bit. And then it is also important to note that his team kind of fully backs out here. So they don't really try and fight. They're down like 3 people or something, so they just fully back up. They're around this corner. Moon Knight, Bucky, and Loki are both playing corners, and the Doctor Strange is playing this cubby over here, making sure that he is topped up before he goes right back in. Once he starts seeing his health go up and sees the group behind him, they're able to go in. His Loki ults and Cloak and Dagger ults the Moon Knight, so they're able to keep his Moon Knight alive. And Loki is able to live with the help of that Cloak and Dagger ult, and they're able to get a lot more posture on the point. His Groot ults, and he almost dies here. With the help of the Loki shift, he is able to survive, and they wipe the enemy team with just about 30 seconds left on the clock. Tops off his tanks, and once again plays a little bit of a line of sight thing with this ambulance right here. Playing a little bit further back, definitely prioritizing healing these tanks, and just waiting for the enemy team to make their final push, getting a little bit of extra ult charge as well. His Bucky is unfortunately taken out, as well as his Moon Knight, but Doctor Strange lands a very good ult in the backline, gets 2, and he and the Groot are able to finish off the mag. So they turn it into a 2 for 3, or a 3 for 2, I should say. And his Groot is able to comfortably sit on the point since the enemy is lacking a little bit more damage. They've lost a few members, so Groot is able to stall it out, and he's able to comfortably keep him up. Unfortunately, Groot drops a little bit low. He gets a little bit scared and blows Cloak and Dagger ult here. With the help of the Groot walls, they wall the enemy team off of the point and end the first round with a score of 0-0. So definitely feels like that game kind of played in slow motion. But I think the positioning of both teams taking less damage, fully resetting before they get back in there, definitely plays a role in the speed of the game for sure. So that was just something I thought was interesting about this game in particular. It just feels like everyone is working together significantly more than I've seen especially in low elo games and that sort of thing. So getting right on the payload here. A lot of people don't know that you can ricochet the auto attacks off of the roof there, so he's still healing the Strange even though he's out of line of sight. So that is something that's cool. Doctor Strange, again, not standing out in the middle of nowhere, plays that right-hand corner and then moves up to play inside this building right here. So he's able to block some damage, keep his team a little bit safer, and not just get absolutely shredded himself. Unfortunately, they do lose their Moon Knight, but able to stay relatively safe. Drops his right click on the point, so his Namor, who is playing a little bit further up, is able to stay a little bit safer. Their tanks are still full HP, but he does get 2-tapped by the Hela on high ground. Doctor Strange takes her out, but they're going to lose a little bit of momentum and will need to play a little bit safer. Doctor Strange moving right away to play behind that payload to not take as much damage until he is back in action. Don't know what that fade was for. That'll be on a 10-second cooldown. It is a pretty long cooldown too, so I don't know if he was thinking about going for high ground there, but the enemy Cloak and Dagger ults, and he doesn't have his ult to answer, so his team just backs up. Groot drops the wall between them so that they can do that. Waits for Cloak and Dagger ult to be up, and then counter ults. With the help of his Loki stealing Storm ult, they push the enemy team off of the point, and they should be able to round this corner relatively easily. Get a nice stagger on the Cloak and Dagger there and the Hela, so those two will not be coming up for another 4 seconds. And the enemy team does similar to what he does. They just wait around that corner, waiting until they can get one more final push. His team doesn't have access to a whole lot of ults. They pick the Captain America pretty much for free there. Tries to keep his team safe with the fade, but Storm gets a very clean pentakill here. They don't have any defensive ults, they don't have Luna ult, they don't have Mantis ult, they don't have Invisible Woman ult, so they are just going to get railed by that, and there's not a whole lot that they can do about it. So, but still 2 minutes on the clock, they don't have very far to push on this payload. So just going to fully reset, get right back into it, and see what they can do. Opts to take high ground here for the first time, and his Groot is using it so he doesn't take too much damage, just running down the main drag. And as his tanks step up, they actually lose their Moon Knight here, but so they back up a little bit around this corner, play inside this building so they're not taking too much damage, waiting for that Moon Knight to respawn. And Groot sees an opportunity to get the Hela and the Thor. He's able to get a nice 2-piece, especially taking out that team up, so if Thor were to die, Hela could res him. Could be kind of big. Their Storm actually dips into the Moon Knight ult, gets clipped by it, and they're able to quickly finish off this Captain America. Pushing right down the stretch over here. Able to take out the Loki. Swaps to his Shadow form, fades the Thor ult, and ults right on top of point. The enemy actually doesn't even touch there, so they're able to just kind of get the cheeky win with a score of 0-1. So I know that was a little bit shorter than the usual replays that we do, but I thought it was interesting how his team played cover so well, how they gave him a lot of opportunities to have healable damage to heal. He was able to still build his ult charge relatively quickly, similar to the speed that the other Cloak and Dagger was. And as you can see, he goes 19-3 here. He gets a good amount of healing, but more importantly, his team has a very good amount of awareness. They play together as a team, and they secure the win with that 1-0 score. So, hope you guys learned something in this video. Like the video if you liked it. Leave a comment of what you want to see next, anything you want to say to me. And again, I appreciate all the support that you guys have given the channel so far. This has already surpassed everything that I had kind of hoped. I just wanted to kind of start this just for fun, but you guys have made it a lot more than that. So I appreciate you all. Everyone that is subbed, thank you. All the new subs, thank you again. and I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.